All right. Good afternoon, folks. It's your man, always George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Bodybuilding Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. And we have here a very special guest, a lady who, I'm becoming acquainted with, one Miss Traci S. Rugg. If you know anything about Miss Rugg, she is a professional bodybuilder. She competed this year in Chicago Pro, and also she competed at the Tampa Bay Pro in both women's open and women's physique. So we'd like to say, welcome, Miss Rugg, and and thank you for coming.
You're so welcome, and it's Traci Rugged.
Rugged, us. Well, I forget that D. I don't know why I forget that D. It's rugged. Like rugged, like you get in a fight, you get rugged. Okay, yeah, all right. I am so sorry, folks. I've been so busy. Today I was up and down the road. When I got your message, I just woke up from a nap. I was busy. I was doing some running around this afternoon, and when I get to my age, it goes. So
Always know.
Yeah. So anyway, Miss Rugged, if I'm sorry that I mispronounced your name. The big questions people want to know: how long have you been competitive, and and what got you into the sport?
Well, I've been competitive all my life. Like all my life, I've been a very competitive person, challenging people to do any and everything because I knew I was, going to beat them in the first place. But as far as bodybuilding, I got into bodybuilding when I was about 18 years old. And I did do some lifting before that, though. But it was like right after I had my daughter when I was 18 is when I joined the gym. I ended up working at that gym. And I started training to compete. And so I did my first show back in 2001. And then I did my second show, I believe it was 2003 or 2004. I don't remember, so long ago. But they were both bodybuilding because, the other divisions were out back then.
Yeah. Because back then, because back then it was just bodybuilding and fitness. And that was just those two. Because,
no, fitness wasn't out either. Fitness wasn't out. It was just bodybuilding.
You sure remember fitness game? Well, it was I remember it was, but let's digress. But anyway, also we got here's some people coming through. Brooke Burrell, George Page, you are the man, bro. He follows me. And also my brother Marcus Bell for our CS Combat Sports family. He always comes through. Salute, coming through, smashing that like, and he says, "Hey, Traci."
Hey.
Yeah, you guys come here to see Miss Traci. So, they here to see a beautiful woman, and to quote my favorite character, the Joker, "You are beautiful." I love that. You're welcome. So you started in 2000s. So like I said, that was around the time when I think they were the pros was doing the weight classes because after I think 20
right.
Around 2000 you had the two weight divisions in women's bodybuilding, and then they dropped it after 2004. And when did you officially turn pro?
I stopped competing actually in between that time all the way up until 2016. So from the last time I competed in 2003/4, because I don't remember which year it was, I ended up powerlifting. So I powerlifted all those years, and I ended up hurting my back. And I said, well, I can't deadlift anymore. I might as well get back on the stage, So I decided to get back on the stage and figure in 2016. Now, the local show, I think I flew out to Atlanta and did Lee Haney's show. And I did pretty good. I got, first place in two, I think it was Masters, and then Open, I got first place. And I got like best biceps or something like that. There was another award. I don't remember what it was though, but I did not get overall. So I'm not sure what that fourth medal was for. And then I went to nationals right after that in Miami and got ate up. I got ate up. My critique from the judges from nationals was that I was too muscular for a figure.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up taking a break and came back 2018 and did physique. Now, the first show was the classic palmetto. I did get the overall there. And then I ended up going to Junior USA's, and I got second place in my class there. And then I went to nationals again, Miami, but this time as physique. and I won my class there.
Hmm. Yeah, you were helping around the board for a good while.
Yeah.
And I said you would say you were a power lifter. That means you were, picking up heavy weights. You were like, I remember one time I was watching this show, and this lady, she was a power lifter, and she spoke the record, and she had this guy slapping her face. You ever had one of those moments?
No, I've been slapped on the back, but not my face. No, it's just a problem.
I mean, this chick was like, "Rrr." And then like, oh
No,
wow, oh
that's
shoot,
extreme. That's
yeah.
extreme. That's too much for me.
Yeah, we have a hello from Brooke Burrell. Miss Tracy Rugged, by any chance, do you have any advice for expiring bodybuilder in a wheelchair? Because he follows me. He often asks, because he's in a wheelchair and he wants to know what advice you can give him.
I honestly I do not, because I've never trained someone in a wheelchair, and I refuse to give that kind of advice. Because I don't know what your condition is. As far as eating wise, of course, you have to keep it clean. You have to prepare your meals. You have to weigh your meals. You can't overeat. That's about as much as I can advise you, as far as staying healthy.
Yeah, I got a problem. I don't weigh my food too much. It weighs on me.
Lord.
But like this, as you know, you competed at the Chicago, and I made certain comments, and it was not too flattering, but I have
Yeah,
to
but you,
be.
you know what, George? You know what? I sit up and I watch all these podcasts, and I see how they critique the women, and 90% of the time I agree with them. So when you said what you had to say, it didn't
Hmm.
bother me, because I know that's what you saw. That's
Hmm.
how you felt when you
Hmm.
watched me go across the stage. So I
Yeah.
don't have any problem with that. I know what I felt and what I saw when I went across
Hmm.
that stage. So that's
Yeah.
all that really matters. But I know how it works.
Yeah, it's just we just like we as fans we go for a typical type of look and style, and then you come in, it's just like I don't know if she belongs there. I mean, it's just that
Right.
yeah, you have that look in the eye. But like I said, you're pretty impressive physique. You did pretty well. As you know, you went to Tampa, you did both women's physique and women's 40 plus, and then you took second place. And and how was that feeling when you won in that in your class?
You talking about in the second in the Masters?
Yeah, yeah.
It felt good, considering Tampa's a pretty big show, and even the women's Masters was a big lineup. So, and this was my only second pro show, so it felt really good. I was excited. I was happy about my placing. I was happy about my look. So I didn't go home sour because I didn't get first. Top five to me is like great in those kind of shows.
Yeah, because masters. I talked to some ladies who done masters,
Hmm.
and and one thing is like for women's bodybuilding, it's hard for it to be a qualifier, and there's talk of possibly in the future that the women's bodybuilding will qualify masters women for something like the Olympia. I remember back in the day, years ago, that the Olympia had a men's masters. You had I seen guys like Lou Ferrigno, Taylor. Vince Taylor. I mean, those guys were like amazing back then. I've been a fan of bodybuilding since I can remember. But like I said, it's just it's a sport that I think people got to have a passion for.
Yeah.
Because especially as I keep saying this, that for people, if you listen to this, these ladies, this sport is very expensive for them to do. I'm gonna keep repeating this, and they can use any support. I have her information. She has a Cashapp, Venmo. If you want to send a donation to help her out, that is something a lot of ladies will appreciate it. Support them. Give them good vibes. As I said, this is a tough sport to be in. It's a sport of being judged.
Very
Yeah, and
expensive sport to
yes,
be. Yeah.
because I'm like I made the comment where I say it's like this: the men all you got to wear is a banana hammock and that's it. And and y'all women, you like I said, some days skate your posing suits be something from to $1,000 to $2,000. Then you got to throw in the hair, makeup, tanning. It's just
Jewelry,
jewelry. Yeah, because
shoes.
shoes, especially
Yeah.
if you're doing the figure. Your stage you got to get some clear heels. And I remember
Uh-huh.
I mean, my favorite comedian, Chris Rock said, "The purpose of a daddy's job is to keep his daughters out of clear heels." But in your figure, you have no choice, and
Right.
and when you were competing figure, did you like wearing the heels, or you just were more comfortable now without them?
At that time, 2016, I was comfortable because I wore heels a lot at that time. Right now, you couldn't catch me in heels without falling to the ground. I'm sorry. My ankles would be bent all different directions. So yeah, back then I did enjoy it. So I was a little bummed that I had to move up to physique. But when I did, I was, happy because I didn't have so much limitation as far as training goes.
Yeah, and I feel like with figure, some of the girls are not that far from physique competitive level. I like people like Sydney Gillen, or also recently I saw a lady who I've started to follow, Lahana Robinson. She's pretty impressive, and I think you're gonna see maybe, I think like we are talking about how they should start creating. I think for especially in your division, a weight limitation where you see a lot of bigger girls who are competing in physique, not doing so well. I know, like I was talking with one lady who competed at the Tampa, also she's competing in bodybuilder, Miss Shay Mashaka. A lot of you women in your division don't want to go over the bodybuilder, but it seems like it's getting a lot harder if you're not doing so well.
I mean, and here's the reason why. Okay, so when you're an amateur, they have lightweight, middleweight, heavyweight,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
On nationals. But when you go pro, it's like only the heavyweights win. And it's like, what if you don't want to take it to that extreme to become a heavyweight? So now you're like in the middle and hoping that, maybe it won't be so many big girls here, so I can get a good placing. But it shouldn't be that way. And it's like, I know a lot of females who clearly quit bodybuilding because they didn't want to get to that level, but they would have been happy had they were able to stay a lightweight or middleweight.
Yeah, I had that same conversation with Sue Price, who's a legend. When she was competing, you remember Sue Price? She was she was one of the few lightweights to earn her pro card. Most time it's usually middleweights and heavyweights. Once in a while you might get a lightweight that get a pro card, compete. And she said she didn't want to go that level because she was small. And also I think it was one bodybuilder she mentioned was Michelle Ribelette back in the day, and Michelle switched over to women's fitness, for a good while. And I think that was quite often. I mean, there was a lot of female bodybuilders when they created fitness was for alternative for the women who didn't want to get to the level of maybe like a Iris Kyle, a Linda Murray. I remember Kim Javetsky was huge, and they felt more comfortable. They want something more, a little more lean and effeminate. And that's things like this. When you are in the amateurs and you're a middleweight, you gotta get to a level of a heavyweight. And then if you are a heavyweight, you got to be more conditioned and better. And the lightweights is a lot harder for them because it's difficult.
Yeah, definitely. That's me. That's the position I'm in right now, So I had to go back to women's physique because I was too small
Mm-hmm.
to compete in women's bodybuilding, but I'm still borderline. So it's like I have to watch myself.
Yeah,
And I don't want to.
yeah, I was talking with Mrs. Renee Sanchez, who competed at who made her debut at New York. She also did the Omaha. She mentioned because her height, she was like I think she said she was 5'2", 5'3", and she said she was really thick in the waist. It was a lot harder for her. She did the New York Pro. She felt like she was in better condition, but the only problem was her abdomen area was a little bit more extended. And, she said she could have did a little better, and she liked the fact that they put her farther down the line. But she said if she overall she had a decent condition, but if she was coming a little more tighter, she felt like she probably would have placed a little higher.
Yeah. That's another thing. A lot of times when the female bodybuilders get, of size, their waistline kind of goes with it. And a lot of people don't believe in waist training. They think it's pointless when it's not. Because that was also one of my critiques when I did women's figure was my waistline. And since then I've been wearing a trainer and I've never had that critique again as far as my waistline being too wide. So it's like, they call it gimmicks. People use all these gimmicks, but it's like, okay, well, you use steroids. It's the same thing. You're doing something to enhance your body, to make it look better. Don't try to, cut out someone else's drug over another drug and then say it's different. It's not, it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing. It's just,
Yeah, Yeah, it's
It's
just
just
like yeah, because I know with your sport, most of it I keep saying is people point and say you're on drugs, you're steroids, yeah. But most other sports, if you look at it, football, basketball, I'm a fan of MMA. I follow MMA, and they often there's been MMA fighters got busted for using steroids, diuretics, and stuff like that. And it's probably almost every sport. It's not just it's because your sport is more it's more visible because it's about muscle compared to these sports where it's more about performance.
right, right.
Mhm. Anyway, I got some people. My man Brooke Burrell saying like, Miss Tracy Rugged, what is your most you can bench? He also says, Miss Tracy Rugged, I'm a huge fan of female bodybuilding sport. By any chance, do you ever meet any of your fans?
I do at shows. Actually I see a lot of people when I'm out and about, and it's just funny because I don't realize that many people know me. But as far as how much I can bench, the last time I maxed was 235, and that video is actually on my page on Instagram.
Yeah, yeah. I can't remember last time I bench. I remember I was in high school and I was like doing a 320, and that's been like centuries ago. Now it's like I think I believe I can pick up my own body weight. Also, I have here is a Miss Fishiana. She follows me. She supported me. Thank you, Miss Fishiana. I appreciate your support. Once again, your man, you have a boyfriend. He loves you, Mr. Brooke Burrell. He said, Miss Tracy Rugged, would you train a aspiring bodybuilder in a wheelchair?
I again, I wouldn't know how. I've never done it before. Um, I did have a brother who was handicapped, but not to the point where he was able to train. So, I don't have any experience in that, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah, we keep find some for you, Brooke. Maybe someday we might have somebody we want to help you out because I really like to help people get to the point where they want to be because it's a tough world out there.
Definitely,
Yeah, it's a tough world out there.
definitely.
And like I said, this lady, she is a mother, which is a special breed, in the sport of bodybuilding. Women who are mothers by nurture and by nature. And you have two children. And how old are the kids?
Actually, I have one biological child, and she's 23, and I have three stepchildren.
So you're both a mother of nature and nurture. That's a special breed.
Yes.
And like, what's it like when your kids are out
Mhm.
there with you, with their mom, and they go to like especially the younger kids, they go to school functions and they say, hey, my mom can outlive your dad.
Well, my daughter was tough. She didn't like people staring at me. She was like, growl at them when she was growing up. But the older she got, she understood, that I was unique in my own way. But yeah, when she was younger, Mom, make a muscle. Show 'em, Mom, make a muscle. I thought it was just the cutest little thing.
Yeah, that's a good thing because children love we love our mothers. Our mothers are the first, especially for us young men. Our mothers are the first women we ever love, and we support
Right.
you. And it's just great to hear because I know there's so few women in your sport that have been blessed to have the responsibility of being a mother and a nurturer. It's just
Right.
yeah, because a lot of people talk about how the effects of the sport, and is I'm planning on doing. I told you about. I'm planning on doing a little discussion this Sunday, and if you want to come by, check it out. Anybody want to come by, want to talk and share your experience and everything like that. It's cool because we really want to. As you know, we had an incident a while back, and it's just really. I think it really had changed things. You feel like there's a lot of change now ever since what happened about it's going to be about a week ago.
Yeah, I can't say there's been change because it just recently happened and there hasn't been any big shows since then. So, except for the show that she was supposed to compete in, but it wasn't, no one really knew about what happened until earlier this week. So, there hasn't really been any change yet. I guess we'll see for the next upcoming shows. So, we got Savannah Pro coming up and we have
The Rise of
uh,
Phoenix,
Rachel Phoenix.
and
And
also you
yeah,
have the
so
Olympia.
in Olympia and the Arnold. So I guess we'll see
Uh,
with those shows.
yeah. Would you ever think about do? Have you ever done the Arnold, or is that or you just are you done for the season?
I'm done for the season. I'm done. Taking time off to grow. Hopefully come back about 15, 20 more pounds of muscle mass added on.
Yeah, 'cause that thing is what I'm a big fan of is women who you compact female body. It's like you can really like pop onto women like about five, like anything under 5'3" and like that. It just seemed like you could pack on some muscle, just be like people like one of my favorites was back in the day was you remember her, Rosemary Jennings. She was just
Yes,
beautiful. Yes,
I used to love
she was,
Rosemary Jennings.
yeah.
Yes.
I actually have a Facebook page dedicated to her. I call it For the Love of Rosemary Jennings. I've talked to a lady by name of, my mate of her, heard of her, Roxanne Edwards, and she mentioned her to me, I got some feedback from Rosemary through Roxanne, and it was just, I would love to meet her someday. Who do you, admire in this sport? Who you like, you kind of, you look up to, say, wow, this is somebody you finally met him, and just like, you have your like, a moment, you're like,
Mela Ash.
Mhm.
Definitely Mela Ash. And it's because I've seen her travel the road that I'm traveling now. She started, in figure, and ended up in physique, and now she's bodybuilding. The woman is phenomenal.
Yeah,
So
and she
I'm
did.
definitely a huge fan of Mela.
Yeah, she did pretty good because I remember I was doing an interview with Jada Beverly a while back, and she mentioned that her and Milo were told to switch to bodybuilding because they did the Ultima last year, and
Yeah,
then the New York Pro brought back both women's physique and women's bodybuilding, and she hits out the gate, wins that show, and then placed top five at the Olympia. And that's pretty good in your first strike out
mhm.
switch. I mean, it's like yeah, and it's amazing what like I said, I admire women, and like I said, I'm like this one thing I'm also a fan of is women of melanin, of women of are my chocolate sisters of muscles. I'm a fan of you. There's something beautiful about you, and I know you're a married lady, so I've got to be respectful, and guys be respectful too, because like I said, I always tell some of my follows, the schmoes and the weirdos out there, when you make contact with these ladies, be respectful. Don't send no weird stuff, no D pics, no anything like that. These ladies
Please
don't like that
don't.
stuff. Don't
No,
no one wants to see your Vienna sausage. I know
not at all.
there's a like this is something I found out years ago is I am a smo, but also I'm a respectful ladies. But this guy I was like on this site a while back. He got me comments that say like this. This is crazy. So they say like this, like you ladies rock hard, we'll rock hard. That's
Wow.
there's some guys out there. And like I said, you ever had guys that approach you? You have like one side of the guy might saying, "Wow, you're so beautiful. You made the muscle," and you had the other side which like, what you trying to be a man? What's your problem? What's your issue?
Yeah, someone actually made a meme of me the other day on Facebook, and one of my clients just happened to see it and sent it to me. So I went on to the actual post. I found the person that posted it, went onto the post, and I was just like, "Hey, that's me." So I said, "Luckily, I have a sense of humor." But at first, before I made that comment, there was a lot of negative comments because on the picture it says something like, if you went on a blind date with her and found out she was a female bodybuilder, would you stay on the date or leave? So the previous comments before I made my comment was, "Oh no, she's too hard. I need somebody soft. Oh, that's not a woman, that's a man." But then when I made my comment, it seemed like the comments started changing to, "Oh, she seems like a pretty nice person, and I would stay on the date." And I'm just like, wow. But yeah, those things don't bother me. It used to. I can't lie, it did used to at first. But it's like you have to make up your mind. What do you want to be? How do you want to look? Is the way you look make you happy? And if you're not happy with that, then you need to find out what makes you happy and do that. So I am doing what makes me happy. So
Yeah,
I'm
because
good.
you ladies do this sport for a passion. Like I said again, it's not a lot of money. I mean,
Right,
like
exactly.
what was your take for you took second at the for 40 plus at Tampa?
I was good. I was fine. To be honest, before I got there, I didn't even think I would have placed in either or in women's physique. Because the girls are also a lot bigger than me. consider I'm only 5 foot and I was 116 pounds. So I didn't think I was going to place in either category. So when I got second, I was just like, really? Okay.
Mm.
So yeah, I mean, I guess again, it goes with conditioning and symmetry and balance. So of course,
Yeah.
everything else around that as well, your makeup, your hair.
Yeah, I know. Like a lot of people saying this a lot more. Like I'm hearing from other competitors, like it's conditioning, and a lot of the fans are more like about they like the bigger girls. Like there's a guy who will follow on female bodybuilding channel. His name is AJ. He talk about he likes the big freaky chicks, and I think we go back in the day like women like like who's current right now like you like Hella Trevino. She's huge. You got Margie V. Martin. You have Andrea Shaw, Monique Jones. I think she's like about 5'10", and you get somebody like Alicia Young, who's like 5'3", pint size, but she puts on a lot of muscle. That's why I say she just a mass muscle for her size.
Hmm.
Yeah. We got once again. This is from your boyfriend Brooke Burrell, Miss Rugged. What other sports are you interested in?
I am not interested in any other sports.
Hmm. No, so we
Nothing at all. When I was in high school, I played basketball. I was a pom pom girl. I played instruments, but nothing hit me like bodybuilding hit me.
mm,
So
and you just
nothing else.
yeah. When was your
Oh,
first
actually,
induction?
I do love boxing. I love boxing. I love boxing.
That's the thing is
That's it.
I was a boxing fan when I was coming up. I grew up in the area of Mike Tyson, the last years of Muhammad Ali. Who's your favorite all time boxer?
Ah, that's a tough one. Um, I have to say Floyd,
Floyd
Sugar
Mayweather.
Shane Mosley.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
Um,
when I was
I
coming,
was, a foreman fan. Huh?
I was more Mike
You breaking up?
Tyson. Yeah, yeah. You hear me? You still hear me? Can you hear me?
A little bit. It's breaking up really bad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. But like I said, yeah, I was a big Mike Tyson fan. Was coming up, and Ali, and I remember when I was in middle school, I actually met Bone Crusher Smith. He came and and talked to our class, and But now I'm also into. Ever watch MMA?
It sounds like you're speaking a whole nother language. I don't know what just happened.
Hello, hello. Can you
You're
hear
like,
me?
you're frozen.
You
You're
sure?
frozen.
I'm frozen. Wait a minute. Let
Are
me
you? Yeah. Your voice
let
is
me,
like going in and out.
let me do something real quick. Let me be a second. Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, might be something on my end. I know my Wi-Fi can be funny sometimes. But like I said, I was saying I was a big Mike Tyson fan when it was coming up. Money Mike. There was a Floyd Mayweather. I used to like him, but he kind of Anyway, but here's again from Brooke Burrell. I think female bodybuilders are badass, awesome.
Well, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, you have a fan. When I do these things, these guys love you, ladies, because they just love your physiques, your bodies. We go on stage. Like one thing is like when you're on stage, what's the feeling when you're out there when you're doing the poses, you're moving around.
You got a really bad signal.
Oh, it's serious. What's going on? Uh, might be something I don't know. Let me do this one more time. Folks, excuse me a second and go out. I don't know what's going on. This is, it might be, I don't know. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right. I don't know what's going on. I can't say. But like I said, I was about to say, what's that feeling when you're on the stage, when you're in front of a crowd and, what's that feeling?
I can say when I did Chicago Pro, before that I hadn't competed in 3 years. So when I got back on the stage, when I say my nerves was bad, it felt like the ground was moving under my feet. I was like, why am I shaking so bad? It was horrible. And I didn't even get comfortable until finals. So yeah, but when I came back and did Tampa, I was more comfortable. I was ready to perform. But then guess what? I get on stage and I forgot my routine. But I didn't act like I forgot my routine. I just kept posing, and then just walked off stage. So no one knew I forgot my routine because they didn't know my routine. But so I still did good.
So you just winged it and say, okay, I'm just gonna wing it. I'm just gonna do like the
Yeah,
Carlton dance. It's not unusual
yeah.
to be loved by
I
you.
just freaked it. I was like, you know what? I cannot show them that I forgot my routine. I'm not gonna make the oh face. I'm not gonna sit here and just walk off 15 seconds into the song. I'm just gonna start posing, and that's what I did.
Yeah, you just like do like I was like do this and do that and do that and like and do like
Yeah.
maybe do a buddy hump something like
I
that.
think what made me, lose concentration was the song that I used was a very popular song. It was Nas, "You Can Hate Me Now." So when the crowd heard the beat, I guess they thought it was instrumental though, by the way. So I guess they thought the actual song was gonna come on, and they started yelling like, "Yeah!" And it just made me just like forget everything. I was like, "Shh." So yeah, it threw me off.
Well, I think as long as the crowd was entertained, and I think it was pretty good. It's not like you went out there like Russell Crowe and Gladiator. Are you not entertained? Are you not
Right.
entertained?
Mhm.
Now you are our trainer, and
Mhm.
you have I saw that you trained a couple of people. And what's that feeling as a trainer when you see one of your clients, do successful, they place, or when they get their medal? What's that feeling as a trainer? You put it on the work, get them to that level.
As a coach, when I see that, of course, I'm excited because for one, I know they follow the plan thoroughly. This is just the binging you just heard a second ago is actually one of my clients. She just got off stage and she's sending me her pictures. So one second, because I'm gonna make sure she's getting what she needs.
Alrighty. Well,
Okay,
talk amongst yourself, everybody. The subject is nuclear war and stuff like that.
okay, yeah. So um, the feeling is amazing. As a coach, you want to see your clients succeed. And for the most part, you know, leading up until that point, is your nerves are bad. Well, at least mine are. My nerves are bad. Because I mean, even that's how I am when I'm, getting ready for a show. My nerves start getting bad. Those last 4 weeks, like, oh my gosh, you know, is my client going to do what I told her to do? Is she going to start, binge eating and all this kind of stuff last minute and mess up how good she looks? So that those things kind of go through my mind, but they reassure me every morning with their pictures. I did good yesterday. I did good yesterday. So that seeing that makes me feel good.
Mm-hmm. It's almost like, as you are a parent. It's like watching your own child succeeding, and you being having a hand in that.
Uh-huh, exactly. It's just what it is.
Yeah. So, like I said, if there was anything else you could do outside of bodybuilder, what would it be? Because I know you said you did powerlifting, but was there any other avenues besides that?
Hair.
Hmm. So
I
you,
used to
yeah.
do hair. I used to braid hair. I started braiding hair when I was about 13 years old. I used it to get through college. And actually, the class I had today was learning how to do micro locks.
Hmm. That's pretty good.
So,
Because
yeah. So I still do enjoy doing hair. It's therapeutic for me. Just like training is therapeutic for me.
I think, like, especially with sport, with a lot of women, is about you have a look a certain style. I think they could use more women, in the work with ladies' hairs and stuff like that. That'd be
Mhm.
a great niche for you. I mean, when we say, like, I'm gonna hang up my posing suit, and I still could be the trainer, but it's nice to have something on your side. Yeah,
Exactly. And that's
yeah,
exactly what I'm doing.
yeah. Okay, once again, this is from your boyfriend, Brooke Morale. I respect the hard work, dedication that goes into being a competitive bodybuilder. Bodybuilding is a true form of art, and I agree with that. Because I think, like, one thing I see is, like, a lot of women who have tattoos. Some women get the implants, and I feel like when you do that, you really change your physique. Like, I feel like your body is like a form of art. It's like a sculpture, and when you do something like that, it's like spray painting it. I understand as someone who get it for aesthetic reasons, like especially to get the breast implants to make it more feminine. But you yourself, you know how you have beautiful set of pecs because I love a great set of pecs. And you yourself, have you ever had somebody say to you, you know what, Tracy, you're a beautiful woman. You have a great physique. You maybe might want to add something to it to make it more, you know.
I've never had any judges or anything to say that. Now that I think about it, no one has ever suggested that to me. Of course, I've thought about it as a female. You want to look as feminine as possible, but as the year goes on, that thought kind of fades. And I'm just like,
Yeah, and that's the thing. You have to be comfortable with your own body,
yeah.
and that's the thing is a lot of women is this
I
sport
mean,
is.
I wouldn't say that it's a thing of being comfortable with your own body. It's more so of I want to be able to experience what it's like to have breasts because I've always been flat chested before I even started bodybuilding. But it's just like, have I experienced being a woman not having breasts? Not having the butt and all that, that shape, the curves that the men like. Have I experienced being a woman? It's like those kind of things. And men have the same issues too, but different areas, of course. But, you know, it's not saying that you're not comfortable with your body. Because if that was the case, I would have been went and had my breasts done a long time ago. It's just that you just want to say, I wonder what it's like to actually have breasts, to be able to wear certain shirts because certain shirts I cannot wear. It just don't look
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So yeah,
Because
because I would say comfort things.
you want to wear a shirt where like it's like your boobs just pushing them out, and it's like you have to wear here I am, and
Well, not that big. I mean, just something simple, a little small B cup be fine with me. I just, like I said, a lot of tops that they make these days, they're for women with breast. They're not for flat chested little boys. So when you go shopping for clothes, you're like, okay, I'm gonna try this on before I buy it. And it's hard for someone with, my back is not big by any means, but compared to a normal woman that's in a size 6, my back is large. So
mm-hmm.
I can just go in the store and try on shirts and afraid to get stuck in it. They got to cut me out of it. So you can't just you can't just go in and try on shirts. So you just stick to wearing t-shirts all the time.
Yeah, I think that's also that needs to be talked about. I think this should be a fashion for y'all ladies. I mean, especially
Well,
who
see,
are.
that's where I come in. I'm actually working on that.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
also I know another lady for your bodybuilder, Kim Buck. She's doing about the same
Uh-huh.
thing. Yeah, Kim Buck, who I'm a fan of, and we hope to see her compete sometime soon. Much respect to Miss Kim Buck, and she also has her own line, and I think that'd be a great way for your bodybuilders. I think the great way to start is like most people doing this online, and you find ladies say well, I can't go to H&M and find something to work for me, and sometimes you gotta think about you have a small waist and you're big on top.
Right. Yeah.
Hmm.
My waist is small now, but it wasn't, a couple of years ago. But that
Yeah.
still don't make my breast big, so it really don't matter. Oh
well,
God.
well, like I said, somebody told me said more than a handful is too much.
Yeah.
It's all yeah. As long as long as we know you're a woman, and you know, act and behave like a woman, it shouldn't matter how your body looks. But that's
Exactly.
but the
True.
problem is, yeah, the problem is society has their ideas. Like I'm like I said, I used to be a fan of Kim Kardashian. She can, and people like that, and it's just a woman is a woman, no matter what you do. You are an athlete, you are a mother, you are a businesswoman, you are a coach and trainer. You're in a sport where which is has always considered masculine, but women want to be considered equal to the male counterparts.
Right. You're
Hmm.
right.
And this is from my man, sorry, excuse me. This is from my dear lady, Miss Fishiana. That's very true. Statements I made because it's just a true statement. And so I was talking with one lady, Miss Winnie Sanchez. She had to talk about the one thing is that with the shows, the sponsors cater towards the men. Like as you remember a while back, you had the Olympia Big Ramy one about almost $500,000, while Andrew Shaw got $50,000.
Right.
Yeah, and that's crazy because it's just I'm not saying that you should get the same amount as the men because everybody comes see the guy.
I think that they, not saying that, I've heard someone say this. This is just my assumption. I think eventually they will raise the prize money as well as add more divisions, because I think that's what will bring more people to the sport. We spend a lot of money, throughout the year with gym memberships and supplements and, personal trainers, all this stuff. And then we get to the show and we get a $12 trophy and maybe some cash, maybe not. But, I also think that even the people that didn't place should get something just for being there, participant. It could be just a tiny medal, because they put in a lot of work too. It's like you don't acknowledge the people who just, didn't place in top five. I think it would be great if everyone was acknowledged somehow, you know, just so they can paint something on it. Well, I did compete in the show. I didn't win, but I did compete, and this is the medal from that show. There's actually a show that does do that. It's called the Iron Man, so they award everybody. And I thought that was just so unique and like awesome. But I think they're going to raise the prize money on, hopefully, at the Olympia and at the Arnold for the women and all the other divisions too, because bodybuilding is the only one that gets that kind of money.
Yeah, because that thing is, a lot of ladies, you have to find ways to supplement you. You have your training, you have your other businesses you do. Some women they do like OnlyFans, they do sessions, they do. It's the
But
way
see, with
to.
the OnlyFans, you heard that they cutting out the nudity and stuff,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So,
I heard it.
so I don't know how they gonna make money now.
Go to Pornhub. You can go to
Right.
Pornhub.
It's a wrap. Well, I guess they just like, no,
What
no
the,
more
like?
boobs showing.
I mean, you can't show a nipple or anything. I mean, what's the point of having a membership? I used to have one a long time ago. I got off it, because because it get too expensive. But it's just the
Yeah,
fact is, sex is always going to make money, especially women, because the majority of men are males, and women do attract them. And what guy want to come
right.
on? There's some things like I follow certain. There's an MMA fighter. She does a foot fetish thing. She don't go all the way nude. I know Helen Trevino. She has a OnlyFans. She mostly shows her pics and stuff. She don't go all the way, but there are those that do go all the way, and they also do hardcore porn or other stuff to try to supplement for the careers. Because the fact is, as I say, it's expensive, and it's hard even to hold a job because sometimes you have to do a show, and then you may have to say, "Hey, boss, got to take a day or so off and go and do this show."
No, I say, for me, I've always been a hustler, a clean hustler, a legit hustler. And for me to do this, bodybuilding full time professionally, that's why I do stuff like, braids. That's why I do online training. That's why I have a clothing line. I'm not about to go butt naked on nobody's screen showing nothing. I don't care how broke I become. It's never going to get to that point where I feel like I need to degrade myself to make some money, because I know I can go out and make money. I I am very talented. I have been worked in plenty of fields. Do you hear me when I say plenty? I mean plenty. So, but nothing to the point where I had to be nude. So there's ways of making money without having to degrade yourself.
Hmm.
I just wish other women would just find a niche and stick to it.
Yeah. That's some good advice. Like one of my favorite rappers says, Jay-Z says, "I'm not a businessman, I'm a business man."
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
And that's the
Exactly.
thing.
But we
If
can
you
take
find
one more question, but I gotta go because I got homework to do and
all righty.
clients
Anyway,
tomorrow.
well, I don't want to hold you up because I know you're a busy lady. Because like I said, you're a business not a business woman, you're a business woman. And
Woman.
like I said, yeah, woman. So anyway, like this, I want to say like this. Anybody who follow Miss Rugged, reach out to her. Like I said again, her information is in the description. She has a Cash App, Venmo. If you want to send a donation to help her out, maybe we might see her next year. She might be like rah 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 rah, and all huge or something like that. And
That's the goal.
once again, I'm gonna say to you, Smos out there, No D pics, no freaky stuff, no nothing.
Please
Be
don't. Please
respectful.
don't.
Be
You
be
will be
supportive.
blocked.
Yeah, don't keep that. You want to do that? Look in your mirror. Look at yourself. Okay. Wait a minute. I got more thing from Brooke Burrell. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. You
Yeah.
see there? Okay. Okay. I got one more thing from your fanboy boyfriend, Mr. Brooke Burrell. Miss Rugged. When did you decide you wanted to be a part of the sport of the gods and goddesses?
Are you talking about bodybuilding?
Yeah.
Uh, it was in 2000. No, it was in 1998.
That's pretty good. There you go, Brooke. We're not gonna hold up for you. So you have anybody you want to get a shout out to, sponsors, anybody you want to holler at before you leave?
I want to my suit sponsor, Tyler. Uh, she's actually tagged on a few of my pictures. If you go to my Instagram page, Traci S. I also want to shout out my fiance. He be helping me hold it down. He's also getting
Yeah.
ready for a few shows this year. My daughter, I love you, Miss Deja Alani. My sister, Crystal Foster, I love you. And that's about it.
Yeah. And this is one more thing from your future ex husband, your boo, Brooke Burrell. You are the true expression, Miss Rugged. I think you got a fan.
Thank you, thank you.
Well, like I said, and this is a love from Miss Fishiana too. Thank you, Miss Fishiana. As I said again, support Miss Traci Rugged. Like I said, there's the description, her information, her social media information in the description. Also, some of her other platforms such as her Venmo, Cash App. If you want to send a donation, that'd be appreciative. And also, once again, I'm gonna say this once again to you, Smos, no D pics. Keep that to yourself. If you got anything like that, go on the castrated OnlyFans and do that. Like I said, I'd like to thank you, lady, Miss Rugged, and I appreciate your time. I hope maybe we can get a chance we can do it again.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Anyway, like I said, everybody give you thanks and share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Also share, comment, and subscribe to Miss Rugged. This is your man, all the way George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Bodybuilding Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Have a good afternoon and the rest of the weekend. Thank you.